have Leni. She's one of the members of the Jewish community here in Sheffield. She's going to be speaking from her own point of view. She's spoken at previous rallies before, so please give it up for Leni.
I want to begin by saying can you hear me?
Yeah.
I didn't know I was on the speakers list because I'm going in to ask a question at the council meeting, so I was a bit shocked when I saw my name there. But I also feel really strongly that there has to be a Jewish voice on all of these demonstrations. People, of course, it's most important that we hear the Palestinian voice, but people must know that there are Jewish people all over the world who are protesting about this horrible genocide. And although I've been the one that's spoken on the demonstrations, I'm certainly not the only one. So I hope you'll hear other Jewish voices in the future. Well, I hope we can bring this to an end, but I'm worried about that. The reason I think it's so important, so many people have come over to me afterwards and said, thank you for saying that. You're speaking from your heart, which I certainly am, from my experience of growing up, which I have mentioned on the demonstrations before. But Jewish people have always stood on the side of the oppressed, always. And I've been proud of that. Active in the civil rights movement, active in the trade union movement, active over the years on the side of the oppressed. And for some reason, well, I know the reason, but they're blinded by Israel. Many Jews it's amazing when I go back to America and I talk to people who are good on all social issues and have the right positions on the side of the oppressed, on the side of black people who are suffering oppression in America. But on Israel, they look at me and say, how can you be saying that? Well, I am saying it, and I'm saying it loud and clear. The reason dates back to the Holocaust. And of course the Holocaust was the most horrific event, and 6 million Jewish people were killed. But the Holocaust is not an excuse to create another Holocaust. People with any morality know that that's the case. You cannot. And the other argument that you always hear is we must build a safe place for Jews. You will never have a safe place for Jews when you are oppressing another people. You have got to give equal rights to Palestinians. We're not saying destroy Jews, certainly not saying destroy Jewish people. We're saying we want equal rights for people. We want to end to injustice. This seems a very reasonable thing to be asking for. And the last thing I want to say is I'm so inspired by the Jewish protests that are going on around the world. And in particular, I'm going to mention the one I mentioned on Saturday, the Jewish Voice for Peace in America. People here have no idea how hard it is to raise the issue of Israel in America, but I know it from first-hand experience. And they certainly are raising the issue. They are amazing. They are young. They are not frightened of anything, and they took over Grand Central Station. You must look it up. It is absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to finish by saying the same thing that I said on the other two demonstrations that I spoke in, not in my name.